Hey Leo, how's it going? My name's Alex, and I think the Oracle and I might have some useful insights for you today. If you clicked on this video, maybe you got your Sun, Moon, or Rising in Leo, or your Venus, or your North Node, or something like that, or just some other strong Leo placement, or maybe you just felt called, or your intuition brought you here. And if that's the case, I would like to welcome you and let you know that before we get started, or before I turn my camera on, I do a little meditation to get into your vibe, to tune into all the people who would be watching this video. And I'd just ask the Oracle for some insights that should be relevant to you, and they always come in a symbolic sort of mind's eye picture, sometimes a few words. And after that, I also do an I Ching divination and get you a hexagram. And then the rest of the reading I do here for you, using tarot cards and my own divination system. So the first thing I got, and it came really immediately when I started the meditation, was like your classic Canadian lumberjack type guy. You know, red flannel shirt. He was putting on a nice pair of boots, and they were a really good pair of boots, and he seemed very happy with them. And then he went outside to start chopping some wood, like firewood, I guess. And after the first chop, he hurt his back. He put his hands behind his back and was in pain. So that was the first thing I got, and then that faded quick. And then I got one more. I saw these sort of blue, like arrow-shaped lines of energy. Like, I don't know if you've played video games or you've seen like path arrowheads. They're just like just two lines that form an almost a triangle shape. Lots of them just coming up my arms, and they're just this glowing light blue color flowing up my arms and toward the heart and into the heart. And it felt good. It was definitely a good feeling. I got the idea that, the hands symbolize your will, and your heart symbolizes essentially your soul, and your emotional center and your center of love. And it felt like something about your will was moving toward your heart. So maybe you're willing yourself to feel more, to be more in touch with your heart center, which is usually a good thing. But it felt like a little bit too much, like there was a bit of pressure on the heart. It was giving it a bit of a squeeze and felt slightly unhealthy, like you should pull back, not work too hard at it. Although the intention is good and the work is good, and it felt right putting your willpower toward your heart center, but just don't do it too much. Don't push it. Take it easy. Take your foot off the gas a little. Don't overdo it. And those are the two things that I got in the meditation, and we'll clarify those through the rest of the reading. The I Ching hexagram I got for you is hexagram 55, called Feng, or abundance. And there's a changing line there, the third line. So abundance changes to the hexagram 51, called taking action. Essentially, you're in a state of abundance. I know you probably have watched other tarot readers or other things in the New Age, on New Age YouTube, and they're always talking about abundance. It's like the biggest keyword. I swear, if I hear that word again, I'm gonna pull the internet out of the wall. But it is the hexagram I got for you. So I'm sorry if you're sick of hearing it. But the symbol of it, each hexagram is made up of 6 lines, hence the word hexagram. And that's 2 symbols, 2 groups of 3 lines, or 2 symbols of 3 lines each. And they each represent an element. And this hexagram is thunder, the gua, or the trigram of thunder, sitting on top of the trigram of fire. And that's a lot of energy. Like a thunderstorm and a fire. This is, an abundance of energy. And that, when I got this hexagram, it reminded me of the blue lines of energy moving toward the heart. It was a lot of energy, and it felt like maybe a little too much. It felt like, you had to pump the brakes a sec, or just regulate the amount of willpower that you're putting into this. There's an abundance of willpower that you seem to have. And that's excellent. It's good to have an adamantine will, but you need to use it properly, and you don't want to strain yourself. You don't want to put undue pressure on your psyche trying to accomplish something within yourself. If you're trying to be more heart-centered, more open-hearted, perhaps you're trying to be more compassionate with someone, perhaps with yourself. Try to be more loving with someone, or perhaps with yourself, or just in general. And it seems like you feel like it's really, really important that you accomplish that sort of inner goal, that psychological transformation, where like you just feel like, I have to be a more heart-centered person. I have to be more in touch with my feelings. I have to get this done. It's very, very important. And while yes, it might be important, you can't rush it. You can't put too much willpower into it, or too much psychic energy into it. It's not like pouring more water on a tree is going to make the tree grow faster. It doesn't work like that. A tree grows when a tree grows. You water it enough. You don't want to water it too much or too little, but the speed of growth is not going to change. It grows at the rate at which it grows, so long as it's fed with sunlight and water. And that's another symbol of abundance, is the sun at noontime. So that's you, Leo, of course. You are the sun at noon, especially right now, or in the very near future. You're stepping into this noontime phase where you just radiate. You share your light with everyone, and you're just radiating on everybody around you. And like after noon, the sun begins to decline. After every phase of abundance, there is a decline. Tremendous abundance cannot grow, it does not last. After every time of abundance, a time of scarcity follows. But you can manage that. You don't have to fall into total scarcity. If you share your light or your abundance with those around you, it mitigates and manages the stage of decline, and the decline is not terrible. So although you may lose the phase of tremendous abundance that you're in, if you shared it and you planted seeds around you, shared it with others, and spread your generosity, spread your light around, it gets reciprocated. What you give, you get back. And the state of decline is managed and mitigated. And instead of falling into poverty like you would if you were stingy with your abundance, you gain the support of those around you, of the people around you, of the spirits around you, as long as while you were in a state of abundance, you were not some sort of greedy tyrant keeping all of your light to yourself, keeping all of your abundance to yourself. And that's really the message of the changing line, abundance moving to changing action, because that is symbolized in the I Ching as you breaking your right arm. I know that sounds kind of scary. You're not going to break your arm. At least I hope not, God forbid. But it's the idea that, and it's not your fault either. Accidents happen or these things occur. It's just the idea that you might lose something that's of assistance to you. It could be a person that's a very competent assistant, like literally in a business or in a work environment. Maybe an assistant is going to quit, or like a good employee is just going to go on vacation for a long time or something like that. Or a trusted confidant is going to take a step back from you, or something of this nature. But you're not at fault. It's not like a calamity or anything. It's just like the lumberjack that I saw. He was this big, strong, healthy, happy dude, and but he still threw out his back because I don't know why. He took a chop at the wood, and sometimes you just chop wrong. Sometimes you just move your body wrong and throw yourself out. And even though he was super strong and healthy and at the peak of his physical performance, sometimes these things happen. And this lumberjack lived alone, at least so it seemed, just in a cabin in the woods. It looked like maybe in central Canada. And yeah, that could be a problem. If you injure yourself out in the middle of nowhere, and you don't have anyone around you with whom to share that abundance, he had this whole forest, this whole world around him. And it didn't matter because there was no one there to help him when his back got thrown out. So you got to make sure that you treat the people around you well, and you have to accept that, you might break your right arm, metaphorically speaking. Someone might be taking a step out of your life for a little while, and you got to manage that. You have to be careful with the resources you have and enjoy them, use them well, because you're in a state of tremendous abundance, or you're about to be in one. And that can lead to carelessness. If you feel all this abundance and you have all this wealth around you, maybe emotional wealth or material wealth, financial wealth, or what have you, and you just feel at ease, which is good. We all deserve to feel at ease. But feeling at ease and in abundance can cause neglect and negligence and uncarefulness. So if you remain aware that, yes, I'm in abundance, and according to the laws of reality, states of abundance don't last. They always are followed by decline and scarcity, just like states of scarcity are always followed by states of abundance. These are the cycles of reality. And you need to be acutely aware of that so you can manage these resources properly, so that when the decline comes in the future, it won't be bad. It won't knock you from your center. So don't allow the abundance you're feeling to go to your head. Don't neglect the important things, the important details of life. Make sure you treat everyone well. Make sure you are, setting something aside for a rainy day. Maybe open up a new savings account and put a whole bunch in there and don't touch it. Something like that. I'm not telling you what to do with your dough, but you get the idea. Just be aware of this fact that you're in a state of abundance, and don't get carried away, and don't get too complacent or comfortable about it. That's essentially what I'm getting a vibe from. So now I'm going to take a look at a divination system that I developed. It's basically 24 aspects of life and reality that I carved onto this table of wood here. I'm going to spin a coin that has a point on it, so it'll point to one of these 24 archetypes. That will be what the Oracle wants you to focus on today, and I'll draw some cards and other things to help figure out exactly what the Oracle would like you to pay attention to. Ooh, interesting. The lock, the secret. This one fell out. The secret, the occult secret. I don't know, maybe that means something to you. So anyway, let's see. Severity. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Kabbalah, but this aspect was inspired by the left-hand path of the tree of life, severity. I put it on the right-hand side of my board for certain spiritual significance, because in the spiritual world things are reversed. But anyway, so I don't know if you're familiar with the tree of life, but you got severity, the left-hand path, as the thing that the oracle wants you to pay attention to, the aspect of your life that you need to pay attention to. Now, right off the bat, severity has to do with your intellect, your strength, and essentially birth pangs and motherhood. So that's going up the left-hand path of the tree of life. You go from, the earthly realm to the realm of the intellect, let's say, the mercurial realm, to the realm of strength, or the Martian realm, to the realm of Saturn, or the realm of understanding, the womb of reality. And that's essentially the left-hand path before you get back up to the absolute crown, the Godhead. So that right off the bat, I think, that being injured, that lumberjack being injured, breaking your right arm, putting too much willpower into your heart center, these are severe aspects of life. These are severe ways of these are severe experiences. So let's see exactly. Let's pull a tarot card out and see if we can get some more details about what exactly is so severe. Get some specifics for you. What does Leo need to know about the severity, the severe aspects of their life? What's going on? Does Leo need to know about severity? Oop. Well, anyway, it's the Three of Pentacles. It's doing work. It's teamwork. Building something. Here it looks like we've got a monk, 2 monks and a draftsman. It's a Martian card. And the sphere of strength, the sphere of Mars, the sphere of Gibberah is indeed on the left-hand path of the Tree of Life. Oh, it's also a Saturnian card. That's right. Which is also on the left-hand path. This is, even though you're in a state of abundance, or you are stepping into one, your work can't stop. There's still, you need to do something with the abundance. Like, this card is ruled by the zodiac sign of Capricorn, which is the mountain climber. Capricorn is never really satisfied with what they've got, with where they are. They want to keep climbing. It's an earth sign. They want to keep reaching the top of the mountain, even though they already have a lot of strength. And so it's very important for you to focus on not getting caught up in your abundance or getting complacent again. It seems to be a very clear message. All right, let's pull another card for you. These cards were made by an artist who was inspired by these mosaics that they've found in oracular temples throughout Africa during the Roman era. So they were Roman colonies in Africa. Very beautiful mosaics. What does Leo need to know? Oh, it was that one, wasn't it? Lust. Libidine. It's a bed, a big red bed. Now, being in abundance can make you complacent or make you feel like you can get away with more or attract more. Feel like, you have more access to certain aspects of life. Let's say when you have money, you can do more things that a broke person can't do. And this can be distracting. And it can disperse your energies, it can waste your energies, it can make you lose focus, and it can also make you waste that abundance. That abundance can fly out the window if you become distracted by the pleasures of life. Now, I'm not telling you not to enjoy the pleasures of life, just don't go overboard with it. That's another thing. The energy moving toward the heart center. The heart center can regulate lust and can also be a victim of lust. That might be something you're struggling with, is trying to figure out, how to purify your heart, how to make sure you're not overcome by lower temptations, and how to protect your heart from being polluted by such lower temptations. But at the same time, if you worry too much about that sort of thing, it leads to repression. And repression can be just as unhealthy as overly indulging in lusts or temptations. So you need to find a balance where you can express and fulfill the desires that you're capable of expressing and fulfilling with the abundance that you have, but just not overindulge or go too far with it. Don't beat yourself up if you have a lapse in judgment. Don't feel too guilty or horrible about enjoying the simple pleasures of life. It's okay. You probably have a very high standard for yourself when it comes to self-control. But, everybody needs to let loose every now and again. As long as you're doing it within reasonable limitations, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. Don't squeeze your heart too much. Don't feel too guilty about the things you want to enjoy in your life. Now I'm going to pull one token. I got 64 of these guys that I made. One last thing for you to think about. What does Leo need to know? What do you think, Oracle? The last thing Leo should know. Ooh. It's the poisoned dagger. That's a drop of poison coming off the bottom there. This is a symbol of treachery, traitor. It could be someone in your life, or it could even be yourself. Many times it's ourselves. Maybe you breaking your right arm is something a little self-inflicted. If you treat others poorly, you might lose a helpful assistant. If you betray someone, I'm not saying you will, but abundance can cause dragon sickness, as it was called. When you have a hoard of gold, you want to keep it, and you begin to care about the gold more than you care about the people around you. I'm not saying this is happening to you, but it's a very real danger. Money has a magical power of just corrupting people's minds, and when people gain a lot of money, sometimes they change, and sometimes they become treacherous. And I think in conjunction with these other two cards, Lust and the Three of Pentacles, doing the work, is you're being asked to really look within yourself and make sure that you're staying above board ethically. Or, on another possibility, is that when you have abundance, you can attract thieves. So maybe don't brag about it. If you walk into a bunch of cash, maybe just keep it to yourself. Be careful. All right, well, it looks like you're going to have some fun ahead, Leo. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little jealous. That's all I got for you today. I hope you found it helpful and insightful, or at least entertaining. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks a lot, Leo. Take it easy.